happen. And like you mentioned, this is a map where taking the gold into harassing with a lot of zealots is not uncommon.
Not at all. And he spots the gateway at the ramp, and yeah, now he's like, oh, what do? I know pretty much everything that's up. And he goes off for probably he's scuttling off. He might once again go for what we saw in an earlier game to go for the hatch block. But you know, that's a very bold strategy. I'm not sure if aGaham feels up to that.
Yeah, I mean it paid up for Hephaestus doing that. In
yeah. Even though he ended up losing, though.
Yeah, he ended up losing, but the start for him with the hatchery was excellent. He actually forced 5 probes off the line, so that maybe aGaham got inspired, but it looks like that's a no-do. Extractor going down, should see a pull after that, and I think we're just gonna see quite a standard game because Blackb1rds seem to be taking his natural expansion and not the gold base here.
Yeah, so it's extractor before pull, which usually indicate either very early roach play, but more commonly the very quick link speed, which is just to be safe against gateway attacks and take early map control as a Zerg. The Protoss of course has no idea of this, but he'll just be playing a standard game, adding on the Twilight Council, and yeah, it's, I mean the cybernetics core, and of course, like you mentioned, he will be finally adding on his own natural.
Yeah. The Overlord's actually being really active. Do you see that from aGaham? I really like that though. He wants to know for sure. You're really taking not the gold base, right? Not the gold base? Okay, I'm just checking with the Overlord. It's really nice from him. He knows exactly what's going on. That has to be really good as a Zerg player early on to know exactly what the Protoss players do.
Yeah, I like it when Zergs pretty much use everything at their disposition that they have, which means getting a few early links out and just doing a lot of scouting and map control with them by spreading them out all over the map. We have a Protoss, the probe here actually making his way into his opponent's base without any obstruction, and he will be getting a good scout off. Should be seeing that there's barely any gas being mined, and it might raise an eyebrow because it usually indicates some sort of heavy tech builder, because the Zerg can of course put his drones back into gas without any notification.
Yep, definitely. And looks like we also have 2 Zerglings chasing a probe all across the map at the right bottom side. I love seeing that. Those Zerglings getting the exercise. Catch a probe is something they do often. It looks like it might actually fall here.
Yeah, he'll probably be end up getting this probe. Not sure what it was heading for. Maybe it planned to, build a proxy pylon, but usually he would do that before the engagement actually happened. So this probe gets picked off, and another one gets set out onto the map, and he just manages to sneak by these links. And keep in mind, there's only 2 links here for aGaham, so he's not doing what I mentioned, which is sending them across the map, and he almost loses both of them, but link speed just kicks in at the right time, and well, gateway attack will be on its way quite soon.
Yeah, but it's gonna head towards the third base of the Zerg player. Proxy pylon is being placed there by Blackb1rds as we speak, and I don't see anything that can scout this for aGaham except the 2 links, and they might actually just go there, see exactly what's going on, and what a game sense from our Dutchie right now, and he's doing a good job here, scouting everything out. He's making 14 Zerglings. I think he might be okay here.
Well, it's already a bit late. I mean, the pylon finished and the first warp in is here. Is he gonna let his third finish or not is the main question. We have a queen and a couple links coming in to distract the zealots and try to snipe the pylon if possible. But the zealot count is already rising. The next zealot warp in, yeah, there it goes.
Yep, 2 queens, roach warren almost finishing by the way, so if he can hold off long enough, there could be some roaches. Really nice time warp from Blackb1rds there, and the zealots actually giving chase a little bit further than I would like to see. And getting surrounded.
Yeah.
He's gonna pick up these 3 zealots, and they just ran to their deaths. There are a lot of zealots working at the third base though, and he might get it.
He will probably be getting it if he focuses down, but he's currently not yet. There's one. I think there's no transfuse available, so he won't be able to do that. Roaches finally move in, but his archery is so low. I don't think. No, it will fall. And the roaches do end up cleaning up this attack, but the attack to kill the third base has finished. But I think economy-wise, the Zerg is still in quite a good position.
Yep. Oh, I just got to mention that all we see right now is the overlay.
It was fixed already. Yeah.
It was fixed already. That's good. I'm pretty sure you guys love seeing our faces for just a little bit longer though, and the hatchery is gonna get restored. But Blackb1rds did lose a lot there, Drew.
Yeah, he did. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I suppose he only warped in zealots. He didn't lose any gas units, which is quite good for him. and he kept aGaham, who is actually, okay, he's getting his lair and he's mining a lot of gas, so I expect this to be, well, at least a mutalisk based build out of aGaham. He's currently just using his roaches for a bit of map control. The question is though, what is Blackb1rds going to go do? Well, I expect an Immortal Sentry build here, and he's actually sending in a hallucinated Phoenix to go for scouting. And I think that's a great move, actually. He will probably scout the Spire as soon as it pops up, assuming there will be a Spire.
Yep, I think so as well. And we do see a little bit of bold move here by aGaham, taking a 4 base all across the map. Just in a really strange location, and we are going to see the gold base being taken. But look at that sense from aGaham. He's just sending the Overlord in, he spots the gold base, knows exactly what's going on. And I have to say, I've said it before, aGaham is on toe with his scouting this game. He's really done a good job.
Yep, aGaham is scouting the map around with a bunch of roaches, wants to make sure that there are no proxy pylons placed anywhere, and there we go. The Spire is being built right inside the main base. So another hallucinated Phoenix should definitely spot this coming. One nice move for aGaham potentially would have been to build it at, well, he could build it at the third, but that's a fairly vulnerable spot. So he has to make that choice, and his choice is of course building the main, and lose actually quite a few roaches, tries to pick off 1 or 2 sentries before they die, but only gets 1. And this attack from Blackb1rds is actually already picking up steam.
Yep, looking good. You got 2 Immortals, a lot of sentries, and the sentry energy is still decent at this point. No proxy pylon in place as of yet, but looks like aGaham is already responding by making units. Spire is gonna finish just a little bit too late for anything out of that, but 5 roaches and 4 zerglings are on their way. And after these Overlords finish, I expect we see a lot more units of 4 spines, Jeroen.
Yep.
He's not taking this lightly.
Yeah, Blackb1rds is moving out onto the creep right now, which is always a dangerous move. There's no upgrades on the Zerglings though, which is also quite dangerous. And these force fields are actually quite good. The Zerglings getting a decent round, but the Roach is not being able to do anything.
Zerglings do more damage than you'd expect though, Jeroen. 4 or 5 Stalkers falling rapidly, and a lot of these Stalkers are on low health. There's 20s on the way. The only bad thing here is that these spines are way out of position when they finish.
Yeah, and now drones have to be pulled off to fight this. There's a lot of links now finally popping, which will be able to help this attack, but the Immortals...
No, he's gonna be fine. Drones actually do really good against the Immortals.
Well, you could say he's fine, but economic-wise, he's definitely not. There's a triple Stargate going on right now for the pros, because he noticed that there will be mutouts. Well, next pickup actually getting this Immortal here. And aGaham almost suicides most of his links in here. And the problem here is the gold base for the Protoss, which is just giving him so much money. And now the mutouts finally pop, but is it too late?
Well, you gotta keep in mind though that if aGaham starts adding drones, he can start saturating his fort base, and he's gonna kill a lot of probes here at the gold expansion. He's still up in supply, and these mutants are gonna go not uncontested, but there's only 6 Stalkers, and he's running in the links and the roaches.
Oh,
he's gonna pick up the mothership core. He's killing everything here.
Oh, this is such a good fight. The Stalkers finally fall, meaning there's only a cannon here for NTR. Most of the ground forces of aGaham are being chased away, but these mutas are now completely uncontested. However, there are 3 Phoenixes at the same time being chronoed out, so aGaham is certainly not won this game yet.
He's not won this game, but he's gotten back in this game. With the army advantage he had, he really did do a lot of damage there, and he should be able to kill this Nexus maybe with these 7 extra mutants, but he's gonna lose a lot of them to the Phoenixes. Phoenix is so good against mutants, of course.
Oh, Nexus taking so much damage, even the glaives bouncing onto the Phoenixes, and now aGaham will be able to pull back and forcing his opponent back onto 2 bases is just so good when you're on 4 bases of your own. Adding on
Yep, and he
now.
might even pick up Phoenix here, he does.
Yeah, he does. Only 5 Phoenixes out onto the map right now, and once these Corruptors get added, these Phoenixes really don't have a whole lot to say anymore, so aGaham with his muta-based play makes a big play and gets back into the game.
Yep, I mean, I had a feeling that Blackb1rds was starting to dominate this game with the economy, like you mentioned, but aGaham just had the army advantage and really pushed it with the only 6 Stalkers on the field. Couldn't oppose the mutas there, and these Corruptors are gonna be so annoying.
Yeah, meaning that having Corruptors on the field really shuts down the Phoenixes. In a certain way, of course, there's all sorts of dynamics, like the Phoenixes with rage upgrades still upgrade the Corruptors, but they just don't really do all that much damage, so it shuts down the Phoenixes in a way that they are just not as effective as they used to be. And now aGaham is once again moving forward with this air army. He might be looking for another cancellation.
He is gonna get it if he goes for it. He can just circle around with the Corruptors, and the army is quite out of position. The Phoenixes are gonna come there, but they're gonna have to pose against these Corruptors. And there's also Zerglings in the other position of the map. But he spots that there's no third base, and with the 4 bases of his own, he's in a really good spot. And the Protoss doesn't know about that 4 base though.
Yeah, I mentioned the range upgrade earlier for the for the Phoenixes. Actually his fleet beacon is only just finished. I'm not sure. Yeah, there it is. And he will be getting the range upgrade pretty soon, presumably.
Yep, he's getting it.
Yeah, but the Protoss is just in so much trouble here. Like, he's getting +1 air, so he's committing to the air attack. But he's already lost control of the skies, like completely.
Yeah, and the Zerg could also switch out of it, which would be a really strange position to be in. If the Zerg just starts making a lot of Zerglings and Roaches, he could actually overrun the Protoss player here, because I don't see a lot of sentries or anything on the field to really defend. He just has 1 Immortal and 11 Zealots. If the Zerg were to go for a ground-based push, I feel like he could win the game right now.
Yeah, he's once again going to make a move on the gold base, it seems, and there's really not much of an answer here for from the Protoss. The Corruptors are actually casting individual corruption all of these Phoenixes, and the Mutas clean up the Nexus, which I feel wasn't being cancelled.
Nope, I think you might be right on that. And economy-wise, the Zerg player is looking a-okay right now with 70 probes on the field, which is I think the ideal number you want to have. He's also adding a 5th base, because why not? And the Zerglings are gonna cancel the potential 3rd base right now.
Immortal falls to the Mutas, and they are right on top of these Zealots. Only 1 Stalker here, and these Mutas, they're just gonna go into the natural and kill everything. The Phoenixes though are getting in range, and the Corruptors are out of position, having been circled around. He might actually lose a lot of his Mutas, but the Phoenixes are trading hits.
Yeah, but the Phoenix actually took a lot of damage there. I think he might have realized though that the Protoss is really low on ground units as well. Should have seen that. This 3rd base might go up if the Phoenixes defend it, but I feel like a Zergling run by could do enough here.
Yeah, the Zerglings are actually all that he needs to win the game at this point. He is kiting back nicely with these Phoenixes here, but the Corruptor count is just so high. Like, what do you do against it? And now aGaham is in a position where he can just attack.
Yeah, if he were to run the Zerglings through the wall with the Mutas on top, I don't think there's that much from Blackb1rds to hold this. It's 170 supply against 90. Sure, he's killing Overlords, but the Zerg has enough minerals here, Jordan.
I think aGaham just wants to starve his opponent or something. Like, he is fighting the Phoenixes, but not in a very cost-efficient way. But all he needs to do is deny the bases and kill his opponent's Phoenixes, and he will win the game. Regardless of what his opponent really does. I mean, he just has so much map control. There's almost no ground upgrades here, for both parties, by the way. And the Zerglings once again going to town on any spare buildings that are out onto the map.
Yeah, I mean, aGaham has done a good job of keeping his opponent onto 2 bases, and these 2 bases are becoming 1 base. As you can see, the last mineral patches at the main base from Blackb1rds are being mined out as we speak, and the natural expansion is actually getting closer and closer each minute. So if aGaham can deny the 3rd base 2 or 3 more times, and he's doing a good job with the Zerglings right now, but there are some Zealots, he's gonna win this game.
Well, the Phoenix control is, once again, at this point quite good here by Blackb1rds. With the range upgrade, of course, you can pick off Corruptors very slowly. I think the answer here from the Zerg will be Hydras at some point, since he's getting the speed upgrade for them. But he's adding on more and more links as needed, and the question is just where is this going to go? Like, will Blackb1rds be able to hold his third against the circling attack that is happening right now, or will he not?
Yeah. And look at the minimap here. I think these Zerglings are gonna do enough.
Yeah, he can't pick them all up. It's just too many Zerglings.
I think we both know which way this game is going. Look at the main base. The Mutas are wrecking the last few probes in the main base, and the natural expansion is close to mining out.
Look at this though, there's a lot of Phoenixes, and the Corruptor count is actually falling quite heavily. Oh, actually hits a lot of these Mutas as well. I think with proper control, Blackb1rds can actually win this air battle. But the question is it enough, or is it just too late?
No, it's definitely too late. I mean, being a caster, I want to make games as exciting as possible, but Blackb1rds just doesn't have the income or the possibilities of getting back into this game. I feel like
he is cleaning up the air. He did finally do it. he has the superior upgrades and should now be focusing down the right corruptors. And yeah, he will end up winning the air battle, but the question is, does aGaham even give a shit? Well, he doesn't. He just made 31 Hydras.
Yep, I was thinking just that. Finished the Hydra then, started the upgrades on it, and I mean, it makes sense that against no ground forces, you just go ahead and make your own ground army. The Phoenixes are good against Hydras actually, but he can just make so many.
He has fungals.
Yep. And there we go.